you share your opinion about the last year challenges in Georgia regarding political and human rights situation?
I think in Georgia, recent years had some sort of democratic backsliding, unfortunately. Even though Georgia was a frontrunner for many years in the Eastern Partnership, country now has some outstanding issue, including human rights issues, rule of law, and some other, which actually puts Georgia's Europeanization in jeopardy. And I think this is a concern for not only for EU, but also concern of Georgian people.
Thank you. Could you tell us what are the main reasons for Georgia not to get the European Union candidate status in June when the Moldova and Ukraine got it?
One of the reasons is actually lies that Georgia's democracy is backsliding, as I said. Another one was unfortunate stance of the Georgian government towards Ukraine and basically not joining this, basically not introducing sanctions against Russia. And basically also this anti-Western sentiments of some of the ruling party members towards the EU and the US.
My next question is, could Georgia get the European Union candidate status easier in the previous years?
I think if Georgia fulfills these 12 points, which actually European Union gave to Georgia, it's very likely that Georgia will get it, maybe not next year, because next year it will be very problematic, because if Georgia will get it, then it may boost the Georgian dream. So if that's why probably European Union will try to use the conditionality and to get, Georgia will get it probably after the elections.
But now the trio is divided, I mean the Ukraine, Moldova and Georgia, and how will this affect Georgia's relationship with the European Union in the future?
I think formally trio is not disbanded because as far as I know Brussels is working, and there will be still quite strong incentives to work as an associated trio, and there was several statements where they pushed Georgia to go together with Ukraine and Moldova. So only thing is that there should not be big differences in a policy agenda from Brussels' point of view, unless Georgia gets the candidate status. If Georgia gets candidate status, I think that then these three associated countries, basically they are in the same basket like other Balkan countries.
Thank you. And how did the war in Ukraine affect Georgia directly?
Of course, it affected immensely social economic conditions, political conditions. Also, we have a huge influx of Russian citizens, Belarusians, also Ukrainian refugees, and basically changed drastically the social economic life in Georgia.
Thank you. And my final question, Georgia is the only South Caucasus country with access to the Black Sea, but doesn't have the deep sea port that would allow it to reach its full transit potential. The Anaklia Deep Sea Port project was supposed to fill that gap, but the government withdrew from the project only in 2020. As the interest in Georgia's role in the international transit is soaring, the port is back on agenda. And could you discuss the Anaklia Deep Sea Port project's role in the Black Sea region and its connection to the countries regarding political and economic issues?
Actually, this unfortunate war in Ukraine showed that Georgia needs this kind of port, not only Georgia, but the basically region. When I say region, I don't mean only South Caucasus or Black Sea region, but also Central Asia and China, because now this middle corridor is becoming very important as the alternative routes to from Russia. And we see that Georgia is unable to fulfill all this transit, mission which it had, and that's why we need as soon as possible to have the deep, Anaklia port, basically, in order, which will actually strengthen Georgia's strategic position, and it also would enable Georgia to have a little bit more, more role in this corridor.